one text, or even just glancing over at your phone while driving can change your whole life? Well, today, the resources I cite will support these claims. Today, I'm going to be informing you about the dangers of texting while driving. To my own relevance, one of my relatives actually got in a car accident due to texting while driving. I decided to research the impacts and dangers of texting while driving. As students of EIU, you should know that Eastern Illinois is the second safest campus in Illinois. Therefore, let's make it even safer by not texting and driving so you do not harm yourself or others around you. Additionally, no matter what age someone is, they are always going to be affected. In order to better understand the dangers of texting while driving, we need to learn about how texting is a distraction, how it can cause death, and how it can impact the texting of your driving performance. According to the article, Distractions in Driving Video Game Stimulation educates young drivers on the dangers of texting while driving. Almost every teenager owns a smartphone. These devices may be vital to our communication and entertainment habits, but their portability makes them dangerous and distracting to drivers. 1 in 5 injury crashes in the U.S. involve distracted driving. Teenagers have the highest proportion of distracted driving. In fatal car accidents, 16% were related to distracted while driving. Texting while driving uses 3 types of distractions. Cognitive, which means the use of mental activities and skill to performing tasks like learning, understanding, and paying attention. The second type of distraction is visual, which means relating to seeing or sight. And the third type of distraction is physical, which means relating to the body opposed to the mind. Research shows that those who text while driving are 23 more times likely to get in a car accident. The National Highway Traffic Administration reported that over 8 people are killed and 1,161 are injured daily in incidents reported as affected crashes in the U.S. A group of graduate students from George Mason University set up a demonstration that was a part of the first annual U.S. Science and Engineering Festival. The festival was attended by over 500,000 parents and students. The demonstration included a PlayStation video game, a racing wheel, and foot pedals. The video game was displayed on the projector so that members could observe the participants' driving behavior. Participants were told to drive 1 lap on a test course and then drive the second one texting this time. To complete the test, course drivers had to follow police cars through twists and turns of the track. The game ended with an evaluating of either passing or failing. Performance of the drivers, while distracted, suffered from the performance of driving. This study proved that there is no such thing as multitasking while driving, and that it is very dangerous, and that it not only affects the life of yours, but everyone around you. According to the article, Driving While Intoxicated, texting bans are being passed throughout the U.S. due to so many deaths while texting from driving. Texting is the most dangerous activity you can do while driving, even more than driving intoxicated. Due to deaths from texting, Obama banned 4.5 million federal employees due to texting while driving behind the wheel if they use government-owned property. Most of texting accidents happen within vehicles that are 3,000 to 4,000 pound projectile cars. A distracted driver that goes 60 miles per hour travels 88 feet per second, the length of a football field. If the person looks away for 3 seconds, an accident can happen in 1.5 to 4 seconds. 80% of all deathly car accidents result in at least the drivers being distracted within 3 seconds or less. A recent study by Nationwide Mutual Insurance showed that 19% of all drivers and 37% of all drivers ages 18 to 27 text message behind the wheel. Alon E. Akhez reported a commuter train crash in California that killed 20 people due to a trolley driver texting while driving, crashing into the train. Also, another truck driver lost control of his vehicle because he was texting in one hand and talking on the phone on his other. The car went through a lawn, into the house, and landed up in the swimming pool. He injured the house owner and her niece. This just proved that texting while driving is very dangerous, and it puts your life at risk and other innocent lives at risk. According to CNBC, a car driver magazine tested how long it would take to hit the brake in various conditions. The conditions were while reading an email or texting while driving going 70 miles per hour. They were slower reacting and braking while reading an email or texting than driving intoxicated and trying to hit the brake. Statistics show that over 2.5 million people in the U.S. are involved in car accidents due to texting while drivers each year. At this rate, the American people could be extinct in 2 human lifespans. According to the article, Texting While Driving, an empirical investigation of students' attitudes, behaviors. Drivers think that they can text behind the wheel without impacting themselves or how the way they drive. The Institution of Industrial Engineers examines several forms of distracted driving that include changing radio stations, looking at a map, looking for something in your car, or texting while driving. They observed that texting while driving is the most impactful of these activities while driving. They concluded that texting while driving is actually 20 times more likely to be in a car accident than driving intoxicated. Individuals could not multitask when attempting to text and drive. The impact results in drivers' reactions to pedestrians, other vehicles, and traffic lights are worse than driving intoxicated. Individuals spend 400% more time looking away from the road while texting than when they are not texting. Researchers Haynes and Maces from the Institute of Industrial Engineers observed some of the same results. People were asked to perform texting tasks on both handheld and in-car devices, required while driving on a test track. While texting both devices required a mental demand and more off-road glances, if you send text messages on a handheld cell phone, you are more likely to lose control of your car, leading to a bad impact on your life. Impacts of texting while driving can be observed by traffic victims. Researchers at the Virginia Tech found that the number of traffic victims in the past year have increased drastically. Researchers Wilson and Simpson estimate that texting while driving results in thousands of traffic deaths and harmful impacts annually in the U.S. in texting and driving. 1/4 of all car accidents in the U.S. result from texting and driving. In summary, the dangers of texting while driving has impacted every single person in the world today. I hope you all have a better understanding of why texting while driving is so dangerous, how it is distracting, how it can impact your driving performance, and how it can cause death. As someone wise once said, there may be more dangerous things other than texting while driving, but that must be a very short list.